Hello, everyone. Mrs. Kintai here with another parenting moment with something I'd like to share with you about reframing how you look at your child. Now, I talk about this in my one on one parent sessions as well as in my parenting seminar. And what this is an idea of taking what you view to be negative traits in your child and reframing them to how it could help them in the future. Okay? For instance, perhaps you have a child that is super competitive, loves the win all the time, just is like, and they're really struggling with that positive, hey, good attitude because they get mad when they lose, and that's where they're really, and you're like, would you stop it? Like everybody else has to have a chance to you lose sometimes, and other people have to win, that sort of thing. Why don't we step back for a moment and think about the fact that none of us really like to lose, okay? And if you have a super competitive child, maybe, just maybe, someday they're gonna own a business because they're gonna be super competitive in the workforce, and they're going to want to get ahead and have their business be better than someone else's business. Maybe they're the next Tom Brady or Ben Roethlisberger. I bet both of those guys are pretty darn competitive. Okay, so try to take that what you're viewing as a negative trait and flip it on its head. For instance, maybe you have a child that is hyperactive, on the move all the time, just has a ton of energy, and it's not being focused, and the teacher's complaining because it won't sit still, and all of that. Well, let's think about that. Somebody who is super high energy like that, maybe they're gonna go into the workforce and they're gonna have a ton of energy and a ton of ability to work longer on projects than anybody else, and they're gonna get ahead because they're gonna bring all this energy and enthusiasm to a project, and they're just not gonna stop until it's done. Maybe their super high energy is going to lead them to be a teacher themselves, and they have their kids at this super high level all day long because they have the energy to get through it. Maybe you have a strong willed child who wants things done their way. Well, they're going to probably bring some tenacity to the workforce. They're going to work on a project until it's done. They're going to see it through to the end, no matter how difficult. Is your child argumentative? Maybe they're going to be a great lawyer someday or a judge. Is your child super compassionate? They cry. Okay, this is the negative trait parents use. Oh, they're always crying. Everything hurts their feeling. They're way too sensitive. You know what? They're probably going to be a great parent someday. They might be a caregiver. They may work at a nursing home. Maybe they'll be a teacher. See, all of those traits that sometimes get at us parents and we see them as a negative trait, I want you to start reframing it and taking it to another level, looking at them in a different way. Okay? Because, your child wants nothing more than to please you. And I know it doesn't seem like that some days, but really that's what they want to do. They want to please you. And when you can turn your thinking around and take those things that they see negatively, as you see negatively, and you turn them on your head, now instead of telling your child to be nicer to the other students because they're so competitive and things, now you can say, yeah, you know what can we do so that you win next time? Because they get super mad when they lose because they're so competitive. What can we do better next time so that we can win? Let's like start jogging, or let's throw the ball around out in the yard or whatever, so maybe next time you'll be even better. Use that competitiveness instead of as a negative trait. Turn it around and have them achieve more because they are wanting to be better. They want to win. If you have a child that's super sensitive and they're crying, and you've turned around your thinking, and you're like, you know what, they're going to be a great caregiver someday. They're going to be a great parent. They're going to be a great teacher. Say, boy, you know what? I know that really hurts, doesn't it, when XYZ happens. So let's think of a way that we can help this person, or we can help this situation. See, when you turn your thinking around, then you're going to be a better parent because you're going to be able to better direct their behavior. If you have someone who's super argumentative, and you're now, instead of fighting me all the time, now you're like, boy, you know what? Someday they're going to be a great lawyer, they're going to be a great debater, good politician, something like that. Now you can be like, hey, you know what? I see your point of view, but here is my point of view. You hear how my verbiage changes, and when I change the way I look at them, so that now I can take that and try to push it in a more positive direction instead of butting heads all the time. Now we're going to work together in a more positive direction. I do this all the time at karate, and I've surprised some of you, I know. The super sensitive, I've mentioned about being a teacher. I have a child who is super detail oriented, and you know what? Someday he's going to make a great brain surgeon or engineer where those details matter. All right? Maybe your child. I have another one who is able to memorize all of these things, like just comes out with all of these details about movies and things. He could be a great tour guide someday at an amusement park or something, utilizing his love of the movies and that to take people on tours. Who knows? Look at their traits, find the positive in their traits. What does it take? What if are they what does that trait that is driving you nuts right now, what how will it be used for the good in the future, and allow that to drive you towards a more positive parenting experience. All right, everyone, hope this helps some of you. Have a great day, everybody.